Once again, we're going to be using a number line, but this time instead of adding, we are going to be subtracting integers. When we went over the addition example, adding always told us that our person was walking forward. So the difference with subtraction is that subtraction tells us that our person is walking backwards. So let's work through a pretty simple problem that we already know the answer to. 7 minus 4, we already know that that is going to be 3. So let's check our strategy with the number line to make sure that we understand how to use it with a problem that we already know how to do. If you remember from last time, this first number tells us where our person is going to start out on the number line. The second number is going to tell us what direction the person is facing. So this 4 is positive, which means I'm going to copy this positive person who is facing the positive direction. And I'm going to place that person right above the 7. So you can see now we have a person right above the 7, which is our starting point. Now, because we are subtracting, this person needs to walk backward. And they are going to walk backward 4 spaces. So here we go. We're starting at 7, walking backward 4 spaces, which leads us to 3. And we can see that is the answer we thought we would get. All right, now let's try another problem. We have 2 negative numbers this time. So again, we are subtracting, which means our person is going to be walking backward. We have our starting point, which is -2, so we know our person is going to start out over that -2 on the number line. The second number is a negative number, so that tells me that I need to copy the person who is facing the negative direction. So let's do that. So my person who is facing a negative direction, I'm going to place him right above -2, which is our starting point. And now this person is going to walk backward 3 spaces. So here we go, backward. 1, 2, 3. And that leads us at +1. And that is our answer. So you can see that using this number line strategy is very helpful because sometimes when we're subtracting and we have all these negative signs and subtraction signs, it's kind of confusing to tell what the answer is going to end up being. But if we use the different steps and we remember what direction the person needs to be facing and whether they need to move forward or backward, it will really help us in figuring out what the answer is going to be. The next problem we have, -1 minus 3. So again, we've got a starting point right here, -1. That tells me that my person is going to start at -1 on the number line. And which direction does my person need to face? This number is a +3, so I need the person that is facing the positive direction. And I'm going to copy that person and place them right over their starting point at -1. And I know that because we're subtracting, my person is going to walk backward. They're going to walk backward 3 steps. So 1, 2, 3. And that gives us an answer of -4. So this is a really good strategy to help you because it's sometimes difficult to predict what the answer is going to be. And even I find that when I'm using this strategy, I don't always end up in the place that I thought I was going to go, because sometimes your mind is going to play tricks on you and you're going to start adding and subtracting when you try to do it in your head. So it is very, very important that you do the work out on paper just to make sure you're doing things correctly. My recommendation is to go slow and be careful. Think through each step.